You're watching the basketball tournament from Charleston Coliseum in West Virginia. The final quarterfinal game just around the corner between two of this tournament's charter programs. Sideline Cancer and Eberlein Drive have been a part of the field for every TBT since its inception in 2014. They meet for the first time in TBT with a bid in the semifinal on the line and a chance to keep the $1 million dream going. There's only one spot left in the semifinal after We Are D3 and Aftershocks fill the field in Wichita. And moments ago, Best Virginia, the West Virginia alumni team in front of a de facto home crowd, knocked off a Maryland alumni team to await the winner of Eberlein Drive and Sideline Cancer. Welcome courtside, everybody, from inside Charleston Coliseum. He's Robbie Hummel. I'm Chris Fosters. We'll visit with Jen Hale in just a moment. We saw two college alumni teams in the first quarterfinal, and this is an historic TBT matchup with two charter programs that mean so much to this tournament.
No question. Eberlein Drive and Sideline Cancer have won a ton of games in the TBT, and you look at these rosters, they are filled with pros. A lot of guys that play in Europe, that make great livings, that are big-time pro players on display. This is a great matchup between the history that they have, but then also because of how good the matchup is with the talent on the floor.
Sideline Cancer, of course, as the name implies, playing for something beyond just basketball. But to get here to the quarterfinal, they actually trailed LA Ignite by 9 points going into the fourth quarter and then went on a surge to win.
They really turned it on. Alonzo Verge was a big part of that. A big Elam ending, 16.6 assists. You see him getting the steal there. Chris Coffey with a big basket late on the putback, but also Cullen Russo, a guy that in that fourth quarter stepped up big time. Sideline Cancer had to really fight that one against LA Ignite to get the three-point victory. And then for Eberlein Drive, one of the games of the event. La Familia, so talented, the Kentucky alumni team, the offensive rebound stacked up, the multiple opportunities, the crazy ending, but 17 offensive rebounds. Eventually you get one to go, multiple on this possession, a massive shot by Anthony Clemens, and that sent Eberlein Drive here to the quarterfinals out of Lexington.
Not to editorialize, but it was one of the best finishes I've seen covering this tournament, and there have been a lot of them in TBT this year. 3 wins down for both of these teams, but they got to win 3 more to claim the $1 million prize. Sideline Cancer, Eberlein Drive, coming up next. TBT, the basketball tournament, is powered by Puma and by Or Health. Or Health, a daily pill to drink less or quit. And Purple. Purple, less pain, better sleep. There are only 2 teams who have been a part of every TBT since its inception in 2014. They're about to play for the right to move on to the semifinal in 2025. For a little more on the history of this matchup, let's check in with Jen Hale.
Chris, it is the perfect excuse to walk down the lane of TBT history, right? Because yes, indeed, these are the only 2 teams to have played here since the very beginning. So it's incredibly special for Eberlein Drive especially, because if you go back to that original TBT year, They were this neighborhood ragtag group that were so bad, Sports Illustrated actually wrote an article calling them the lost cause of TBT. My times have changed. Now, neither one of these squads have ever won it all, but they have both come very close. Both teams think they are fielding one of their best groups yet, both feeling like they have a great shot at winning the $1 million. Guys, for us, it all adds up to some ferocious basketball battling tonight.
It's a great report, Jen. Thank you very much. Yes, what a drive, no pun intended, it's been for Eberlein Drive to get here from the first TBT until now. And for Sideline Cancer, their initiative was always a big part of their basketball team, but then the success from the basketball team is now fed into what they're trying to do off the court as well. There's been some great symmetry there. We are ready at center court from Charleston Coliseum to get going in the final quarterfinal of TBT 2025. Sideline Cancer in the white, Eberlein Drive in the dark blue. Sideline Cancer with the ball to get us going.
When both these teams in their respective third-round wins were able to live on the offensive glass. We'll see who wins that battle. Certainly the battle to get more field goal attempts, a big one in this one.
Cullen Russo puts his head down and drives the rim, and Sideline Cancer opens the scoring.
Well, he can pick and pop, but he can also put it on the floor. Had just a monster fourth quarter. Didn't score in the first three against LA Ignite, but had 7 points that really gave them an offensive boost when Sideline Cancer needed it most.
Russo on the floor with Chris Coffey, Marcellus Earlington, Alonzo Verge, and Austin Crowley to get us going. Gabe York off the mark from three. He's been one of the best shooters in TBT this year.
Did against La Familia, though, struggle with the shot. Only 3 of 13 from beyond the arc. They're going to have to know where he's at, though, because one game of down shooting is not going to stop a guy like Gabe York from getting him up.
York is joined by Ryan Brown, Nate Watson, Terry Taylor, and Anthony Clemens, who was just whistled for the foul for Eberlein Drive. There's Charlie Parker. He played in this tournament with Sideline Cancer for 3 years, going back to the original TBT in 2014. Took over as head coach in 2017. This is his 9th season coaching Sideline Cancer. Off the Marcellus Earlington air ball, Eberlein Drive looking to start its scoring. And Watson couldn't get a shot off. He was blocked.
Well, how about those active hands? Looks like it's going to be a surefire bucket, and now it's a run out. What a block, though. And both teams with just extra effort plays, Chris.
Russo was blocked by Clemens and then missed the lay-in. York pulls up and left the runner way short, but Watson is there to get Eberlein Drive on the board.
Well, that was not a pass, but it worked out to be one right there. Gabe York well short on that floater. Ain't Watson there to clean it up.
York had the assist on the Elam ending game-winning bucket for Eberlein Drive in the third round, and I guess he gets an assist on the first bucket of the quarterfinal for Eberlein Drive.
Well, Nate Watson had 6 offensive rebounds in that win against La Familia, so something to watch for. That big body, he can be a factor there.
And he runs well. Here's Terry Taylor out to Ryan Brown, who can fill it up from deep as well. That shot wide right.
Well, Ryan Brown, the last 2 games, has struggled with his offense. 2 of 8 from the field, all from 3.
That was knocked off the cylinder by Nate Watson. You can do that in TBT. They pick up the FIBA rules for playing the ball off the rim, and it leads to a 3 from Ryan Brown.
That's a big sequence right there. Instead of a basket, it's a run out, and Ryan Brown needed to see one go down. Big momentum change there with that 5-point swing.
And now a 5-point run for Eberlein Drive as they get settled in this quarterfinal. Earlington, the catch in the lane at the free throw line. He faces up Ryan Brown again and puts it home.
That's a tough shot right there. It's going to be interesting to see with Earlington. Normally, he's got a mismatch physicality-wise with his matchup, but Ryan Brown, he can bring the physicality as well.
Clemens tries to slip it to Watson, but the ball was kicked.
He just threw it off of him. Nah, it's FIBA rules. FIBA rules.
It stays with Eberlein Drive. As we look at Eberlein Drive head coach Bryce Taylor, 38 years old, his first year as Eberlein Drive's head coach. He's been a G League assistant with the Noblesville Boom since 2023, formerly the Indiana Mad Ants. Had a pretty good college career at Oregon as well. Watson gets smothered and is going to the line.
Well, that play is made by the shot fake of Anthony Clemens, because you feel like as a defender you've got to step up. Clemens made that Elam ending winning 3 against La Familia. Look at the way Cullen Russo jumps up there. Now you've got 2 on the ball. The weak side helps a little bit late. Nice setup there by Anthony Clemens off the ball screen.
Earlington picks up the foul and Watson laces the free throw. Watson had a 5-year career at Providence in the Big East, played more games than anyone in that program's history, 156 games over 5 seasons.
Well, has made his way up through some pretty good leagues professionally. Split time this year between Spain and Greece in the top leagues there.
Cullen Russo has 4 of Sideline Cancer's first 6.
Since the 4th quarter of the LA Ignite game, Cullen Russo has looked like a different player.
No time like the present.
Where we at? Under. Hey, stay.
Clemens cut off baseline, and a foul is called. This is on your man Russo, his first.
Come on in. Hey, it's all right.
Sideline Cancer emerges out of the Louisville Regional. Eberlein Drive takes the Lexington Regional. They meet in Charleston, West Virginia in the quarterfinal. First time Eberlein Drive has ever played here. Sideline Cancer had a run to the quarterfinal here inside Charleston Coliseum back in 2021. That's Gabe York with the bucket.
Too. Austin Crowley was step for step with him, but just better offense. York able to keep him off balance with that shot fake and still drill it.
Earlington with the offensive rebound. Now Jermaine Merrill for 3, in and out. Merrill is a guy, as you would say, Robbie, is wired to score.
Yes, he is, and I love the pass there by Earlington. He felt that for Merrill out there. Got a great look.
A teardrop from Terrell Brown, his first.
What a story Terrell Brown is with his Eberlein Drive career. Last 2 years he's been on the team. Kind of was a late ad last season because they needed guards, but then played so well. He passed his audition, was a big-time scorer at the University of Washington his last year. Making out, carving out a pretty nice pro career.
Coffee with the turn and lay-in.
Coffee's a tough matchup because he can take you inside and out. He can pick and pop. He can roll. He can beat you in a variety of ways.
Brown kicks it out. Clemens from York. Earlington another rebound.
We're good, we're mad. Hold back up.
Coffee on a cut finds Alonzo Verge Jr., who's fouled.
Well, that's another thing Coffee can do. He can also facilitate. Coffee showing off the total package. And 5 minutes through, we got a good one here. 2 talented teams. Trip for the semis on the line.
It's a good one here early on in Charleston, West Virginia. 11-8 is your score in this TBT matchup. You know, Sideline Cancer has always played for something bigger than basketball, but that mission has evolved and grown over the years. When they began, it was all about curing pancreatic cancer. Now it's about supporting cancer patients battling all different types of this terrible disease. If you look at those warm-up shirts, that gear, they sell it online to raise proceeds to support patients. Take a look at this video. They have been doing this since the COVID year, and their efforts have absolutely grown each and every time they've tried this. They now have awareness games across Pennsylvania. Guys, they have raised more than $250,000 over the past few years to support cancer patients and help them in their journey. It's really just a tremendous testament to what they do to help others.
It really is, Jen. Thank you very much. And if you talk to the folks who run Sideline Cancer, Kathy Griffith, her son Jordan Griffith, general manager of the basketball team, Billy Clapper, they'll point to the 2020 COVID tournament as a real turning point for Sideline Cancer, not only as a basketball program, but also in terms of the evolution of their mission that Jen talked about. They saw the impact that they generated socially with the success they had going all the way to the championship game that year. And they realized there was a lot more that they could do. And it's kind of pivoted them on their drive to impact people, especially in their region in central Pennsylvania.
Well, Chris, you and I call a lot of college basketball games, and we see the impact that the sport of college hoops does have in the battle against cancer. And I applaud Sideline Cancer for joining that fight, and even though they're more of a pro organization, having a similar impact of raising money, raising awareness. Love to see it, and certainly fighting a cause that affects all of us.
Gabe York with a tough shot. His first three of the game, he's got 5.
Well, he just doesn't need much space. And that little between the legs dribble, he steps it back, lines it up, and nails it over the top of Alonzo Verge.
Merrill for Coffee, out to Crowley. Crowley doesn't need the glass.
Well, that drop coverage, he's just taking what the defense is giving him. Rutherford's playing that thing back, so he gets to his in-between floater.
That pass floats out of bounds from Terrell Brown. Eberlein drive by 5, 2:28 to go in the first quarter.
Eberlein drive has so many weapons that can beat you. We've seen Clemens do it tonight, but Terry Taylor had it going against La Familia. Nate Watson can burn you. Ryan Brown, Terrell Brown, Gabe York, they are stacked here with talent. Think about if Cody Clark could have played. They would have had a ton of options. Already do.
It's a different guy each game. York, I mean, the net barely moved.
No, he's got that thing on automatic, and even though Coffee was in a pretty good spot, York is in another zone right now.
That is such a pure shot. York played in China last season. That is a scoring league. Crowley misses an answer. Here's Brown pushing the tempo. Terry Taylor on the wing now. Around Jericho Helms, and he draws the foul, doesn't get the friendly roll, but he's going to the line.
Versatility on display. Anthony Clemens gets the party started. Gabe York takes it over. Terry Taylor can have his moment. Just got to kind of pick your poison with this team. And they have so many guys that can beat you.
So there's the stat line for Terry Taylor in round 3 versus the Kentucky alumni team that you talked about, Robbie. He had not gotten his scoring quotient going until round 3, now 6 days ago, but Eberlein drive certainly will take his impact in any aspect of the game. Pedro Bradshaw checks into the game for the drive. Bradshaw has been a big piece of the depth of Eberlein drive this year, coming off the bench. Russo drives Rutherford. Somehow that pass finds Crowley, and it's tipped in by Helms.
It looked like from our angle that Russo maybe jumped and landed before he threw that pass, but Jericho Helms just right place, right time.
Rutherford, good hands, blocked from behind by Russo. Rutherford stripped by Braxton, and Rutherford touched it last. It's sideline ball. Rutherford was just a punching bag down there. Good D by Sideline Cancer. Braxton the spin, and Keith Braxton puts it in.
How about the balance, though? You got Terrell Brown right there. Braxton spinning. It's a way to keep his feet and just make a play in the lane.
Sideline Cancer has cut it back to 5. Final minute of the quarter. This is A.J. Slaughter, who finds an opening and drains a 3.
Well, if you're Merrow there, you cannot get turned down. He tries to jump over that ball screen. A.J. Slaughter's turning it down, and there is nobody there to contest his shot.
Slaughter, the 37-year-old, still playing professionally. That was his first field goal of the tournament.
We're good. We got 2. 2 to give. 2 to give. 2 to give. Go.
Intercepted by Terrell Brown with time before the quarter ends. He is fouled by Jermaine Merrow.
As well as Merrow has played in this TBT, it's been a struggle in this first quarter here for him. Just an errant pass. Terrell Brown shooting through that passing lane, and you have to foul him just to save giving up a layup.
So just as Sideline Cancer made it a 5-point game in the final minute of the first, Eberlein drive has ripped off 4 straight points to virtually close the quarter. Ryan Brown checks back in. Four points for Terrell Brown in the quarter. And Russo with 2, now 1. The half-court heave, well short and to the right. And Eberlein drive, I mean, these guys have been a well-oiled machine since TBT lifted the curtain 1 week ago. They have a 10-point lead on Sideline Cancer, but a lot of time left in this one. We move to the second quarter. It's the TBT quarterfinal from Charleston Coliseum.
The 3, I think we can slide under.
Definitely. And then just know they'll probably rescreen, but like they ain't really.
Slide under to reattach, get back into the basketball.
0 for 4 from 3, and everything else has been right there.
Okay.
Putback. Yeah, putbacks.
Together, all right? Listen, it ain't gonna be perfect, okay? No more thinking about what the substitution patterns is or who's doing what. We're together. We gotta play basketball, right? It's not personal, it's us winning a game together. It's us winning a game together, okay? Come on, it's a new quarter. We gotta start off strong. Hey, 3 stops in a row. Offense, 2-man, roll. It ain't going Listen, it ain't gonna be perfect, okay? No more thinking about what the substitution patterns is or who's doing what. We're together. We gotta play basketball, right? It's not personal, it's us winning the game together. It's us winning the game together, okay? Come on, it's a new quarter. We gotta start off strong. Hey, 3 stops in a row. Offense, 2 men. Roll, roll. It's there, let's go. 1, 2,
In the huddle, powered by Puma, an impassioned message from Sideline Cancer head coach Charlie Parker after the first quarter. Down 10 here as we start the second.
A little surprised to hear him talking about guys complaining about substitution patterns, but
another one, Colin.
Certainly some tough moments in that first quarter, but this game is far from over.
And a tough shot landed by Terrell Brown, who continues to fill it up early. He's got 6. Elam's off the 10. Braxton had it for a moment, lost it, and it's covered up by Slaughter.
Let's go clear, 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 clear.
Brown finds Rutherford, who is stripped, and he got it back from Helms and then was fouled.
You just got breakdowns and mental mistakes kind of everywhere on that possession for Sideline Cancer. There is no help side defense. This should have been a layup for Tommy Rutherford. Erlington's late to the party. Then you save the ball right back to him, and that's a mental blunder there. And honestly, Sideline Cancer is lucky that wasn't a 3-point play.
Rutherford has scored in double figures in 2 of Eberlein Drive's 3 games up until tonight. He's gotten to the free throw line a bunch also. Average 6 points, 5 rebounds with the Motor City Cruise in the G League. Seems appropriate that he's playing for Eberlein Drive, although this TBT program is named after a street in Fraser, Michigan, not far from Detroit, where Eberlein Drive founder Jacob Hirschman grew up on. Hirschman played on the first Eberlein Drive team in TBT back in 2014. Now he just assembles the roster with his cohort, Matt Mitchell. Verge lays it in for Sideline.
Well, he can do that. The burst to get downhill is certainly a factor every time Alonzo Verge has the ball. Terrell Brown has to do a better job of making him use the ball screen and sending him to his help.
Russo the rebound.
Nice job by Verge there defensively of making that tough on Brown.
Now Braxton off the glass, and he draws the foul. Ryan Brown picks up his first personal, first team foul of the quarter. Braxton played his college basketball at St. Francis from 2016 to 2020.
Or no, you know what?
Had a great season abroad in Germany last year. With Bolcom, he averaged almost 20 points per game, and the team had its best season ever. He was named the Pro A Player of the Year in the German 2 League.
Well, those are the types of seasons that you've got to put together in hopes to get to the top league in Germany. He also played in the 2nd division of Israel. He's played in a few other countries, Belgium, Sweden. But you want to move up to those top leagues. You go to the 2nd division, you have a season like that.
I'm just talking to you, sir.
Clemens for Bradshaw, Erlington on defense, and a foul is called.
But too many breakdowns for Sideline Cancer getting turned down by these guards. How many times? It's been multiple, 2 or even 3 in this first 11 minutes of the game where it's like, well, they've got to make the guard use the ball screen. You get turned down, and now it's a straight line drive to the rim. You're helping from the weak side, and you're in trouble.
That's the 3rd foul on Marcellus Erlington. You get 6, but it's pretty early in the 2nd quarter. Bradshaw clanks the first free throw. Earlington heading to the Sideline Cancer bench. Chris Coffey back in the game, along with Cullen Russo, Keith Braxton, Alonzo Verge, and Jermaine Merrill. Gotta get Merrill involved if you're Sideline Cancer.
Yeah, it's just he's had a tough first quarter, and certainly with Merrill, you can play him on or off the ball, but you need to get him a look.
It is Braxton who misses close range. Eberlein drive, ball up 12. Gabe York has just checked back into the game for Eberlein drive. He had 8 quick points in the first quarter. Still the most on the floor.
Some of the shots he made, you're right, he was torching the nets right there.
Clemens can get it going too.
Right now for Eberlein drive, the concerning thing has got to be for Sideline Cancer that there's multiple guys on the floor that are having really, really solid first halves. You let these guards get their heads up, good luck turning them off.
Like Verge, a guy who's difficult to turn off once he gets going, but a contested layup there goes begging. Sidearm skip pass, Slaughter back from Bradshaw, and Watson able to tap it in.
Pretty on the give and go, and then A.J. Slaughter throws it up. I don't know how Nate Watson, who's by no means a high flyer, hangs around to get this tip in. What a play. The unselfish passing, A.J. Slaughter gives it up, he gets it back. He throws this lob like it's for Vince Carter, but Nate Watson finds a way to finish.
But how, you know, so it's suddenly a 17-point lead for Eberlein drive. Robbie, they are rolling. It feels like this is more about what they're doing as opposed to what Sideline Cancer isn't.
Yeah, Eberlein drive, the balance has been so impressive. Gabe York with 8, Nate Watson with 6, Terrell Brown with 6, Anthony Clemens with 5. Just have so many guys that have contributed here in this first half. Now Eberlein drive going to a zone, but not really on the same page. Fortunate there.
Coffey saves the Braxton miss. Second chance opportunity for Sideline Cancer. Verge steps back on Terry Taylor, who still may have altered that shot.
Yeah, anytime you get Verge to settle for a contested jumper and keep him out of the lane, it's a win for your defense.
Watson fields a wide pass from Clemens, puts Coffey in the hole and sinks the shot.
That's going to be one-on-one with Coffey and Watson. It's going to be a long night for Sideline Cancer.
Watson's a load at 6'10", 260. Here's Merrow, quickly closed on. Russo, baseline J, got it.
I had to have that. Merrow drives that closeout. He finds the paint, he sprays it. Cullen Russo has shown the ability to knock down jumpers at that 5 spot.
Slaughter for 3. Even with that miss, Eberlein drive is open 5 of 10 from distance, and Braxton with some wiggle.
Yeah, that in and out. He totally lost A.J. Slaughter.
Almost lost the ball, but held on for the lay-in. Braxton's got 5. Gabe York takes a seat.
Merrow has 2 hands on him.
That way. Come on.
Foul called against Eberlein drive. And Terry Taylor, the offensive.
Back to man. Match up. Which one?
So for Eberlein drive,
Match up, who's
Davion
here?
McKnight has
Get.
checked into the game. He just finished his college basketball career at Xavier last season. Did not play in Eberlein drive's 3rd round win over La Familia. Here's drive going to the hole and drawing the foul.
I don't care what level of play you're at. When you start playing pro basketball and you've got a guy with multiple years of experience and a rookie checks into the game to guard you, and Davion McKnight is still very, very early on in his pro career, they're going to test you. And Alonzo Verge, he wasted no time. One possession in, all right, I'm going to the rim.
Verge can't coax that one down. Foul has been charged to Terry Taylor. And Verge swishes the second free throw. Verge just 2 for 4 at the free throw line now. He's got 4 points. That foul was changed to McKnight. Here's Taylor for 3. Short. Braxton the rebound. Verge leaks out. Verge eludes Clemens.
It always happens in the game of basketball. Those long rebounds off missed threes can lead to runouts.
Okay.
Verge contests, he leaks out, and they look up the floor and steal an easy one.
The lead is a dozen, and Eberlein Drive takes a timeout. 3:49 to go in the half, and the Drive is cruising. Check this out. On Saturday, Major League Baseball's playing a game at the iconic Bristol Motor Speedway. You've got Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves against Ellie De La Cruz and the Reds, calling it the MLB Speedway Classic. Coverage begins Saturday at 6 Eastern on Fox. This event, TBT, is unto its own as well. The $1 million winner-take-all prize. Started in 2014, only 2 teams have been a part of every TBT lineup, and they're playing right now for a berth in the 2025 semifinal. Eberlein tried the lead in the basketball. Gabe York draws the foul, and he was shooting a 3. He's going to the line. The foul is on Crowley.
Crowley can't believe it, Chris, but he clearly bumped Gabe York's arm as he was going into his shooting motion. The play is for York. They throw it into the post, but then they're bringing him off that screen. And there's the contact to the elbow. That's an easy call.
So York gets it going at the free throw line. He is Eberlein Drive's leading scorer at the tournament this year. His tournament high 23 back in the second round.
Hey, yeah, that's right. That's right.
York goes 3 for 3. Eberlein Drive's first 2 games were convincing wins. against Richards Elite and Tampa, Florida pickup basketball. Their third-round game against the Kentucky alumni team La Familia went all the way to the wire, and Eberlein Drive won by 1 point. Russo is fouled on the second chance.
Think about winning that game in Lexington with the crowd that was there. La Familia had all the hype with the Harrison twins back and Willie Cauley-Stein. DeAndre Liggins ended up not playing in that game. He'd gotten hurt, but
Archie Goodwin,
Deron Lamb, Archie Goodwin. I mean, there was a number of big-time players that came out of the University of Kentucky on that team.
That was a third-round game. It's not like it was a first-round matchup, but it felt like that game could have been much later in the tournament than it even was. Those were two really good teams. Sideline Cancer had one of the biggest wins of the tournament this year as well, knocking out the Louisville alumni team, the Ville, in front of a large crowd inside Freedom Hall. Russo can't get it going at the free throw line.
Well, I think a lot of people that follow the TBT thought that this game would be played in Louisville and would be the Louisville alumni against La Familia.
Merrill, the steal, and the score.
Maybe that gets him going. He had a tough first quarter. Offensively, he's been so solid throughout. Had 20 against the Ville and 17 against the Mad Cats, and they're going to need his offense.
Tavion McKnight flashing his game a little bit in TBT.
His first points of the TBT. The rookie responding here. Opportunity has a couple of DNPs, but it's a little shot of offense there.
Right here. Keep him in front.
Verge on the cut. He backdoored McKnight, draws the foul and lays it in. What a play by Alonzo Verge, ever the craftsman.
Well, Verge has picked on McKnight with the ball in his hands, and now he does it off the ball. McKnight loses track of him, gets caught ball watching. Verge takes it to the rim with the back cut.
Shake pop for you. Shake pop. Shake pop. Shake pop for you. Here we go, Sap.
Verge has been an all-around force for Sideline Cancer.
What happened? What did he do? What did he do? Oh, yeah.
Playing with Sideline Cancer for his second TBT. Signed to play in Spain next year. And Verge has got 9 here in the TBT quarterfinal.
Verge had a ridiculous season in the second division of Turkey last year. Led the league in scoring at 28 a game. Also averaged just under 11 assists. And led the league there as well. He just had a killer year. And played 3 games in the top division in Spain. So certainly making his way up as a pro.
York short. Here's Verge. Merrill misses the 15-footer.
Wait, great closeout, though, by Davion McKnight to run him off the line and make him put it on the floor for the mid-range.
Reading the scouting report, Brown blocked. Rutherford lays it home.
Rutherford is just one of those lunch pail type players.
Coffey misses on a transition look the other way. McKnight with his first extended tick of the tournament. Taylor misses what would have been a McKnight assist. Verge, full head of steam.
Grab it. That's us. That's us.
Out of bounds. It stays with Sideline Cancer.
Help him. Help him.
That's the first time tonight where you've been able to say, all right, Alonzo Verge may be teetering on a little bit out of control. Trying to force the issue in transition. He loves to get to that paint.
Okay.
Double-figure lead has been stubborn for Eberlein Drive, but look at the mouse in the house, and Merrill missed the bunny. It was a great pass from Russo. Taylor, offensive foul.
21.
The tempo has heated up here. These two teams are looking to play in the open floor, and they're looking to force the issue. We saw it with Verge, and now we see it with Terry Taylor, where he's just running over Cullen Russo.
Taylor's got 3 fouls.
Talk to him. Home. Early big. By yourself.
Verge. Russo was there to tap it home. He could have done that. Again, that's legal in TBT. It's according to FIBA rules for live ball off the rim. It's a point for Sideline Cancer. See how they score it. Rutherford like a linebacker or maybe
wow. But Courtney Green and the baseline official had different calls there. But I guess Courtney Green going to overrule him and call an offensive foul. I think it was clear that it was. I think it is the right call, but he just lowers his shoulder and buries that thing into Russo.
Instead of linebacker, more like a fullback.
Yeah, right.
Help, pick him up,
Jerome Bettis would be impressed.
The bus.
That's right.
We're good here. Big.
The greatest fullback right there.
Send him to it. Rebound.
Verge can't stick it. York ahead to Ryan Brown. It's tipped by Chris Coffey, and it touched Brown last. It's Sideline Cancer ball.
That's a great effort by Chris Coffey. If he does not get a fingertip on that ball, it's a run out for a layup for Ryan Brown.
Hey, you can't move, okay? Can't move, okay? You all right?
Final 30 seconds of the half.
Well, they can hold for
By
one.
yourself.
The
Square
shot
on the
clock
ball.
just barely off, and that's exactly what Charlie Parker is asking his team to do.
By yourself. Talk to him, Gabe. Talk to him, Gabe.
Verge activates. Blocks.
You got a timeout?
And it's Eberlein drive ball. Plenty of time to get a final look.
Quite the play from Eberlein drive. They converge. Verge went for it himself, and that's one where you got to pass it to a teammate.
Brown is fouled. Travel is called on Eberlein drive, and it's Sideline Cancer ball. See if they put any more time on the clock. Not sure.
Can't even shoot it. Can't even shoot it. Can only be a tap.
Oh, no, it's going to be a tap. I'm throwing it right at the rim.
Throw it at the rim. It can only be a tap. It's not even enough time.
Yeah, I know.
You good? Be smart.
This has got to be a tip. You can't shoot this ball. Well, that's I'll try it again.
That wasn't a tip. It was intended to be a tip, but it was definitely not.
I'm guessing Eberlein drive might just clock this thing and say we're good.
We'll take our 12-point lead into the locker room at halftime.
I think that was a block.
I don't think Ryan
He
Brown
didn't
even
touch
touched the ball.
Hey,
He didn't touch it, but
no. Hey.
that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Oh, man. Put it into the half.
44-32, Eberlein drive has looked like a tour de force in TBT this year, and one half in the quarterfinal has not done anything to change our minds. Let's go to Jen Hale before we send it to halftime.
Thanks, Chris. Coach, that monster first quarter powered you to this double-digit lead, gave York your catalyst. Really, you got contributions from so many different guys. How did you accomplish that?
Yeah, we wanted to start fast. We played together. We shared the basketball. We got the type of looks that we wanted to, and then we slowed down a bit in the second quarter. So we have to regain our composure and find the rhythm again.
Sideline Cancer is a team full of pros. You have to imagine they'll adjust. What are your defensive priorities and adjustments for this next half?
Yeah, I thought they hurt us with back cuts, and then the middle ball screen with Verge. We have to do a better job guarding that, and then we have to keep them off the offensive glass. I think if we take care of those three things, we'll be in a good position.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Guys.
Jen, thank you very much. You mentioned the all-around contributions from Eberlein drive. Everyone on the roster has scored in the first half. That's how balanced this team is. 44-32, the lead over Sideline Cancer at the break. The two TBT originals meet in the quarterfinal. This is how the first quarterfinal game in West Virginia ended earlier tonight. James Reese with the alley-oop to J.D. Weatherspoon, and the West Virginia alumni team, moves on to the semifinal, and they will host their semifinal game. This is the deepest run West Virginia has ever had in TBT, and well, that press is going to give whoever wins this next quarterfinal between Eberlein Drive and Sideline Cancer a run for its money.
There's no question. West Virginia, to start that game, they totally took shell shock out of what they wanted to do. The pick and roll, whether it was the full court pressure, a lot of things that West Virginia did to throw them off. And We Are D3, you have to think, Chris, is one of the great stories of the TBT this season. And the Aftershocks playing in Wichita, they are going to draw quite the crowd right there. To look forward to in the semifinals, whether it's Eberlein Drive or Sideline Cancer.
That's right. West Virginia and Aftershocks, the Wichita State alumni team, are the home teams in the semifinals. So, chance for fans of those college basketball programs to get their tickets now. Plenty of time ahead of Thursday. One more half to go in the quarterfinal. Eberlein Drive looks good, but Sideline Cancer has been down before. Will we get a race to the finish in the Elam ending? Stick around to find out. Chris Coffey scored the game-winning Elam-ending bucket for Sideline Cancer to win the Louisville Regional, but his team is down by a dozen against Eberlein Drive, who is looking more and more like a juggernaut in TBT 2025 this year. Welcome back inside Charleston Coliseum. It's halftime alongside Robbie Hummel. I'm Chris Fosters. We have Jen Hale with us as well. You know, sometimes things that look good on paper don't always translate. However, in this case, Eberlein Drive looked good coming into TBT, and they have been as advertised.
On paper, in person, everything that Eberlein Drive has done throughout this event has been so impressive. That's continued on here in Charleston. The balance on display, though. Yeah, Gabe York had an impressive first half, but 5 guys with 4 points or more, all 10 for Eberlein Drive that have played have scored. And you look at the flip side for Sideline Cancer, outside of Cullen Russo and Alonzo Verge, those two have combined for 17 of their 32. Some of the other guys have got to step up.
We'll take a look at the first half stats, and they are brought to you by Purple. Purple, less pain, better sleep. How about Sideline Cancer? They have not made a 3-point field goal as of one half in. Still shooting 38% from the floor, but Eberlein Drive, with the exception of their third round game against La Familia, has been shooting above 50% for the tournament. Eberlein Drive has been tough. La Familia almost got him, but Sideline Cancer will try and put a scare in the Drive, down 12 with Ryan Brown warming up ahead of the third quarter for Eberlein Drive. TBT, the basketball tournament, is powered by Puma and AARP. Join AARP and get instant access to member benefits. We are ready to start the third quarter between Eberlein Drive and Sideline Cancer. And for a report on Sideline Cancer, let's check in with Jen.
Guys, you know Charlie Parker. He's usually a pretty mild-mannered coach. He was screaming in that huddle toward the end of the first half. Chatting with him coming out of the locker room, he said, look, expect a lot more energy and a lot more physicality, especially on defense. They want to make Gabe York feel them defensively. They feel like he just had them way too discombobulated last half. We'll see if the adjustments help Sideline Cancer this half.
Okay, Jen, thanks. We'll keep an eye on that. But it's Gabe York who finds Ryan Brown, who lays it in all alone. And Eberlein Drive scores first in the third.
And that hurts, Chris, because they move the ball from side to side. A good offensive possession. You have an open layup with Cullen Russo's roll, but he misses the layup, and it leads to an open run out.
Alonzo Verge makes the difficult look easy. 11 points for Verge to lead Sideline Cancer.
He's such a gifted player in terms of getting to the rim. A guy that's not the biggest guy by any means. I mean, he certainly could add to gain some muscle to his frame still.
Anthony Clemens a tad strong. Here's Verge. He's scored in double figures now in all 4 TBT games with Sideline this year. Earlington battled foul trouble in the first half. He's short from 3 there, but Crowley with the pass down low to Earlington, blocked by Watson.
How about Nate Watson hanging in? He took that blow from Marcus Earlington, but held his ground and blocked that shot.
Watson is emerging as a great TBT big man with plays like that. Here he is underneath, fouled on the feed from Terry Taylor.
What a sequence here. Nate Watson taking on that physicality and then hanging in there on the play to block the shot. You get the blow by here. Terry Taylor ditches it off, and honestly, if Cullen Russo doesn't take that foul, that's a layup. Nate Watson struggles at the foul line. 47% from the line last year in Greece, so wise to put him to the stripe.
He still scored over 1,700 points in college. Now 9 for this game in the TBT quarterfinal. Verge cut off by Clemens, and a foul is called. Clemens grabbed his arm. Number 2 on Anthony Clemens. Coffee, short.
He's one of the guys they need to get going. You know, only 2 points. Coffey's been a big part of Sideline Cancer's attack throughout TBT.
Ryan Brown is fouled by Cullen Russo, and 3 free throws come in the way of Ryan Brown.
A mental mistake there from Cullen Russo. Ryan Brown, we talked about in the first half, some of the struggles that he's had shooting the ball from 3. You just don't want to shoot or foul a jump shooter ever, but especially a guy that's struggling to see it go in.
Ryan Brown played for the recently retired Jim Larinaga at Miami. Has had a decorated overseas career as well. He's won championships in Finland, Slovakia. He was a Greek League All-Star in 2019.
When he's just played in the best leagues in Europe. He's played in Israel, he's played in Greece, he's played in Turkey, Russia, France. He's just played well pretty much everywhere. ACC champion at Miami, 1,000-point scorer, and has parlayed that into a fantastic overseas pro career.
Trying to win $1 million with Eberlein Drive. York nearly steals it from Crowley. Crowley in a tough spot right now. And a timeout is called by Sideline Cancer to save the possession. but the lead slowly and steadily growing for Eberlein Drive. It's now 16. We'll be back in 30 seconds from Charleston.
Come on, 1, 2, lead.
50 points for Eberlein Drive, and we're not even midway through the third quarter. Sideline Cancer has had a great run in TBT this year just to get to the quarterfinal. Only 8 teams left going into the weekend, but Eberlein Drive has looked the part of a real TBT championship contender.
Go get it, Coffee.
Earlington out of the timeout hits the jump hook.
That size that he's got, even against a big defender like Terry Taylor, bringing the physicality, they just post him out of the timeout. I love the play by Charlie Parker to get him going.
Watson from Brown, Coffee on defense, and Watson puts him underneath the hoop.
Well, Sideline Cancer is going to play Chris Coffey at the 5s, and Nate Watson needs touches every time down. It's not going to have an answer for the physicality and size that he's bringing.
Crowley gets off a good look.
Sideline Cancer needs some guys outside of Cullen Russo and Alonzo Verge to be factors on the offensive end. Austin Crowley trying to make things happen.
That was Sideline Cancer's first made 3 of the game. Now the steal by Earlington.
Oh,
Give and go with Helms, and he misses the layup. Verge hits the layup. A much more difficult layup.
Yeah, seriously, but that fast break was beautiful. Didn't hit the ground, no dribbling, just passing and giving it up.
Oh, how did York put that one in?
He kept Austin Crowley right there on his hip and stayed locked into the rim. Gabe York, we know he can shoot, but they're putting it on the floor.
Clemens blocks the pass and steals Crowley's lunch and then uses the glass ahead of Chris Coffey.
Just a little too casual there from Alonzo Verge. One-handed pass. Anthony Clemens, really impressive instincts there to jump on that pass.
Helms short off 2 feet. Taylor slings it ahead to Clemens from the wing.
You turn the basketball over, you're not going to have great floor balance. How about that pass from Terry Taylor? Anthony Clemens, that defense a little bit casual. He's letting it fly.
Speaking of, Verge lets it fly. Rebound batted to Earlington. Earlington had a look, but he deferred, and Helms lost the ball. Taylor loses the ball. Earlington, last up the floor and first to the cup. He's got 6.
What looked like was going to be a missed opportunity for Sideline Cancer. They're able to force a turnover of their own and get that thing back.
York will take that. He's got 15.
How about Gabe York's ability to finish these last couple possessions? Known as a shooter, but getting it done at the rim.
Verge can't complete what could have been a 3-point play, but he's got 2 free throws coming his way.
In transition, even if it's a secondary break, Verge can just put so much pressure on a defense. You got to really load up, especially with Chris Coffey out there, a guy that isn't necessarily looking to shoot a lot of threes. You need some of those bigs to load up on him and try to slow him down.
The foul was on Clemens, and Verge drains the free throw to give him 14 for the game.
He's been in double figures now in every game for Sideline Cancer. They might not be here without the way he played in the Elam ending against LA Ignite.
But he's just 4 for 7 at the free throw line.
Need one
today.
here, need one here, need one there. Take twice.
Here's Rutherford.
Swing it.
York draws the foul. And
he came down.
Foot. Yeah, and is not feeling good right now. This is actually the second time that's happened to York in this tournament, where he has landed on an opponent's foot coming down from a three-point jump shot.
We saw this happen against La Familia late in that game. This time they do call a foul on it, but you have to let the shooter land. There's contact up top, and you can see he just lands right on the foot there at Chris Coffey.
TBT's Past Champions brought to you by AARP. Join AARP and get instant access to member benefits. There's going to be a new TBT champion this year, and by that we mean Carmen's Crew, Heartfire, Bayheim's Army. Returning champions that were in the field this year have all been eliminated, so it will be a first-time TBT champion this year as well, and we are almost down to our semifinal field of 4. West Virginia, Aftershocks, We Are D3 are in the first 3 spots, and either Eberlein Drive or Sideline Cancer will join them. And Gabe York at the free throw line now, padding Eberlein Drive's lead with 3 free throws. 2 of them have already gone in.
Well, they've got plenty of work to do over the rest of the third quarter, and then certainly the fourth and the Elam ending, but Eberlein Drive looks like a team that certainly has all the pieces to win it all. And they've been knocking on the door for a long time, but they are a well-oiled machine right now. They've got to be the favorite going in if they're able to win this game.
Alonzo Verge draws the foul.
He's not messing around. Off that missed free throw, he is bringing it.
That's Tommy Rutherford, who picks up his second foul. Verge has got 15 points, but he's the only Sideline Cancer player in double figures. Next closest is Cullen Russo with 8, and he hasn't scored in the quarter.
Well, they just haven't gotten enough contributions. Marcellus Earlington with 6, Chris Coffey with 2, Jermaine Merrill with 2. Like those guys have been players for Sideline Cancer on this run.
First play.
I mean, Merrill was Sideline Cancer's leading scorer coming into this game. He had a 20-point outing in round 2 for Sideline Cancer. Robbie mentioned just 2 points tonight. He's guarding Gabe York now. York just couldn't quite get that one over the lip.
This is where Verge wants to be. Open floor. He's going to try to make things happen.
As you said, Robbie, he can get that anytime he wants.
That's what Eberlein Drive wants him to shoot. You know, when he's at his best, it's because he's putting pressure into the painted area.
Well, Gabe York,
Man,
he can get that anytime he wants.
He is putting on a show tonight.
21 for Gabe York. Merrill throws it out of bounds. He's just out of sorts.
He has never gotten into the rhythm of this game. Tough first quarter. Honestly, I would have liked to have seen if they run Merrill off the line there. I'd like to see him still shoot the pull-up. Gabe York, no hesitation for his own offense. He is looking to get buckets.
Pedro Bradshaw bringing the ball up for Eberlein drive.
Well, Verge on the bench for Sideline Cancer. There's a major question of how are they going to generate offense? He's kind of been the only guy.
Rutherford denied from behind by Chris Coffey. Sounded like a volleyball spike.
Flat.
All of a sudden, it is a 21-point lead for Eberlein drive. It's just been methodical. We've seen Eberlein drive go on runs, but this game has just been a slow burn.
Match up. Match up. Stay there. We're good.
Braxton gets it in for Sideline Cancer. 2.5 to go, third quarter. Earlington off the front rim. Merrill somehow gets the rebound. Braxton lets it rip. Rutherford, the board.
They got a good look. It was a nice pass from Merrill. He set the table for Braxton.
Drag.
In and out, nothing doing.
Brown around Coffey.
What a
Rutherford
rebound.
misses the reverse.
I think Coffey might have blocked that.
I think he did. I think you're right.
Impressive play.
Sideline Cancer still battling here.
Good job, Gabe.
But Eberlein drive shooting 58% from the floor. They've only hit 7 threes, but Sideline is just 1 for 10 from deep in this game.
Got time.
AJ Slaughter.
Good shot.
Merrill the rebound. Merrill loses
What a
it.
play.
Terrell Brown.
You're just never safe with Terrell Brown lingering around. He's one of those guys. He'll take some chances, but that extra effort right there, he steals a bucket by just playing hard.
Braxton and one. You could see Davion McKnight had a fistful of his jersey.
Well, Braxton set the flare screen and then just slipped it. Eberlein drive, they want to switch that out. Here's the Terrell Brown. You bring that basketball down. He's just lingering around, hoping that you do.
What we got?
And there's the flare, and there's the slip off the switch. Nice little slip screen there. Braxton able to take advantage of the rookie.
Eight points now for Keith Braxton Jr.
Two side, Dave. Other side, cross.
It was a 12-point lead for Eberlein drive at halftime.
Second side, flat,
Inflated
Tommy.
to 20.
Go get him. On the rim.
Pedro Bradshaw. Rebound
Good
tipped.
rebound.
Terrell Brown.
That's Davion McKnight just kind of sticking his nose in there, getting a piece of it, and because of that effort, you catch a break. That ball bounces your way.
Merrill is fouled.
Davion McKnight's got to be thinking, every time I'm guarding somebody, they are looking to attack. They are putting that rookie in the blender.
Welcome to the pro game, Davion McKnight.
Eight. What is the problem?
Everyone reads their scouting report going into these TBT matchups. That's 4 fouls on Davion McKnight.
I know, but that one was. I done seen all these fouls. That one was a foul. That was a foul.
It's just been that kind of night for Jermaine Merrill.
You're just not going to win if Coffey gives you 2, Merrill gives you 2, Helms gives you 2. Earlington only has 6. You know, Verge with 16, Russo with 8, Braxton now has 8. But they need their best players to play like their best players, and that hasn't happened in tonight's game.
Merrill hit 6 threes in the round 2 upset win over the Ville, the Louisville alumni team, including the game-winning Elam Ender. That's his potential. Rutherford doesn't get a friendly bounce. And Merrill's going to the line again. He hit his head on the way down, but he hits the layup. And we'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
Hopefully he's okay. He needed to just see something positive happen to get his offense going. Kind of in transition there. Earlington just kind of sealing A.J. Slaughter. That bumps Rutherford right into him. There's plenty of contact. Yeah, you're right, Chris. He hits his head on the floor on the way down.
Yes, Teddy.
Third personal on Tommy Rutherford of Eberlein drive. Merrill is the all-time leading scorer for the Hampton Pirates. Scored 2,680 points. He passed Rick Mahorn, the bad boy in the Detroit Pistons heyday, into the top spot in Hampton program history.
One shot, AJ. One shot, AJ. One shot, AJ.
You average over 20 a game for your career. That is getting buckets.
Yeah.
Go at 10.
Over 4 seasons with Hampton, of course. 20 seconds to go now in the third quarter.
Go.
Brown versus Merrill. Brown versus Braxton. Rutherford off his hand.
Boy, right idea. Rutherford had kind of back-cut Coffee there. It's a right play, just poor execution.
Merrill, Coffee, this one's going up. Braxton with time. Misses the second chance. And Eberlein drive takes a 19-point lead into the fourth quarter. They are 1 quarter and an Elam ending finish away from returning to the semifinal of TBT for the 2nd year in a row. Trying to get back to the final field of 4 in the basketball tournament. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but his are the only ones that matter. Colin Cowherd is the most interesting man in sports. Don't miss The Herd, weekdays at noon Eastern, only on FS1. Colin Cowherd's coming to Chicago, by the way.
He already is.
Moved his studio.
Enjoying the summertime shy.
He sure is. Well, it has been an impressive 3 quarters for Eberlein Drive. Now trying to take this puppy home. Terrell Brown sinks the jumper.
They've got 4 in double figures, Chris, with Ryan Brown sitting there at 8. I mean, yes, Gabe York has had really impressive spurts, but like the team effort of Eberlein Drive this is about as complete of a performance as you could expect to see.
You expected that to go down the way Brown has been putting the ball in the well tonight. Russo with a dish to Braxton. Good ball movement, finds Helms, and he puts it in.
That was good ball movement. That thing's popping around, finding active cutters there in transition. You almost wondered, are they ever going to shoot it? And finally, Jericho Helms was the one that did.
Sideline cancer is not a Cinderella story. They are a feel-good story, but not because of the success they've had at TBT, as Slaughter is now up to 6 points. All that to say that they belong in the quarterfinal of TBT, but they are just getting boat raced.
I just honestly think that Eberlein Drive is the best team in this whole tournament. And it's no knock on Sideline Cancer. They've got good players. They've had quite the run, but Eberlein Drive has guys playing at the highest level of overseas basketball. And while Sideline Cancer has good pros, it's just a different level, and that's been on display here tonight.
Don't force it.
Ryan Brown for 3.
Back.
This is Merrill. Slaughter tried to foul him.
One more. Cut.
Helms. Rebound, loose. Eberlein Drive up with it.
Walk one. We're good.
Sideline Cancer still has only made 1 3 in the game. That 3 for Eberlein Drive, their 9th of the game. And it comes off the hand of Pedro Bradshaw.
Bradshaw, phenomenal at running to that corner and just spotting himself up. Those guards are going to find you, but that shot doesn't come if you're not running the floor.
Earlington guarded by Brown.
Brown is everywhere. Look at that.
Another block. And a tie-up is called. Terrell Brown. What do you have him as? What do you have Terrell Brown as?
I've got Terrell Brown listed at 6'3".
No chance.
That probably is generous. I mean, this dude, the first rejection, really impressive, but then he just times this one up, goes up with 2 hands. Terrell Brown in this second half has been everywhere defensively.
There you go.
Who cares what height he is when he's
Thank you.
playing like that?
They're 30 feet away. And then they blocked it. And then he got it back. Still 30.
He guards Verge now. That's way off. Merrill, though, the offensive rebound. Merrill fights his way inside and drops it in. And this is the finishing ability of Jermaine Merrill.
That might be the hardest shot that he's attempted tonight. And he hasn't made very many of them. It's been a brutal kind of offensive game for him, but somehow, some way, gets that to go.
Merrill is just 3 for 6 from the field. He's actually struggled more at the free throw line. He's now 1 for 4, but this is Verge. Earlington, it falls off.
Missed so many layups at the rim.
So many. But I think with Merrill, more than the bad shooting percentage, which is not there, it's just the lack of total chances.
On the rim. Slips to the rim.
We got time. We got time. Got time. Got time.
Bradshaw hangs short. Good defense by Earlington. It's sideline cancer ball, and the foul goes on Ryan Brown of Eberlein Drive. That's his second. But Terry Taylor has got 1 point for Eberlein Drive tonight, and they're up by 23.
They just had other guys step up. They just had so many guys contribute to this effort.
Merrill had his eye on the rim. He drops it off to Earlington, and Coffey puts it in on second effort.
Hopefully somebody makes a layup for sideline cancer.
Clemens surveys. Taylor keeps it away from Merrill. Tipped pass. Slaughter drives.
Back.
And the rebound secured by Earlington. Verge from the elbow. Drops that in.
Sideline cancer. Can you start stringing together stops and baskets?
Less than a minute to go until the Elam ending begins. Target score will be 8 points greater than the leading team score, which is going to be Eberlein Drive. Seven to shoot for Clemens. He breaks in the lane. Now Ryan Brown, short. Rebound to Crowley. He leaks it out to Merrill. Merrill is going to the line after the foul on A.J. Slaughter.
Well, sideline cancer showing some signs of life here. You think about the Elam and what's important with the Elam ending. It's just hanging around and finding the ability to put game pressure on the team that's leading. You've just got to, kind of stay in that ballpark. You have to figure that Eberlein Drive is going to call timeout 14 seconds into this possession to lock in that target score.
Robbie, I would laugh at you. However, we saw last night
the craziest ending ever. Like, honestly,
29 points down.
Yeah.
20 going into the Elam ending, and
well, their defense is going to have to be obviously able to get stops and string them together in the Elam ending. But if you do that with a couple baskets, it's just, you can't run the clock out. You have to continue to score as the team that's leading, and there is a real pressure that comes along with that.
Well, there's the 4-minute mark, and right on cue, Eberlein Drive calls a timeout. We will cross over formally to the Elam ending when we come back. The TBT original. We'll explain it to you when we return from Charleston Coliseum in West Virginia. Keep an eye on Gabe York for three. In and out, York. Terrell Brown back to York. Clemens for the win. It's good! With three. A brick and Earlington the rebound. A chance to win it for Sideline.
Don't like the shot there for Greenwich. It's not one of his strengths.
Verge too strong. Coffey puts it home. Sideline cancer to the quarterfinal. Keep an eye on Cade York for three. In and out, York. Terrell Brown back to York. Clemens for the win. It's good! With three. A brick and Earlington the rebound. A chance to win it for Sideline.
Don't like the shot there for Greenwich. It's not one of his strengths.
Verge, too strong. Kobe puts it home. Sideline Cancer to the quarterfinal. The drama of the Elam ending. We have reached the first stoppage, under 4 minutes to go in the game, so the game clock stops. The target score is set, equal to the leading team score plus 8. First team to the target score wins, so in this case, 79 plus 8 is 87. First team to 87 wins and moves on to the semifinal of TBT. Ryan Brown, after the miss, keeps it in the half court for Eberlein drive. Even though it's a 17-point margin, these games can get crazy in the Elam ending, as we saw in the Wichita quarterfinal last night between Fail Harder and We Are D3. So it's never over until the target score is reached.
And look for Eberlein drive to go to Nate Watson on almost every possession. And just the undersized nature of Sideline Cancer's front line.
Hey, clock.
Fouls on Crowley, his second.
Clock.
Watson has had a great TBT for Eberlein drive, 11 points tonight. Brought in 3 rebounds.
We got time.
Brown the shot fake.
Back.
That didn't draw rim. Crowley runs the
what a
floor
pass.
to Coffey in transition.
That was phenomenal. The run out by Crowley, but then the presence of mind to catch that thing, stay in bounds for the time being, and find the cutting Coffey.
That was a sensational play. Thought Crowley had no chance of keeping that play alive. Clemens hits the follow through.
Or the miscommunication between Merrow and Earlington there. You're just letting Anthony Clemens step into a walk-in 3.
Eberlein drive needs 5 to win. Taylor on Merrow. Ryan Brown nearly took that away from Earlington. Merrow open for 3. In and out. Rebound saved by Sideline Cancer. It's Verge. The lay-in. And 1. 20 for Alonzo Verge.
Off the second chance, Alonzo Verge, he is not messing around. He is driving this back towards the lane. Maybe Watson got him across the back of the head.
It's only the first foul on Watson. Verge gathers his own miss. He should miss him intentionally at this point. Crowley misses the 3. Kicked out of bounds, and it's Eberlein drive ball.
Eberlein drive is fortunate on that possession there. No block out off the free throw. Shooter goes and gets it. You give up an open shot, and Eberlein drive lives to see another day on that possession.
For what it's worth, they gave the foul to Ryan Brown on the and 1 opportunity for Verge. So he's got 3. York out of bounds. And it's Sideline Cancer ball. York thought there was a missed call somewhere in there. Verge. Earlington out to Coffey.
Verge pretty much gets downhill whenever he wants to.
Yes. Earlington too strong off glass. Boy, the offensive rebounds are piling up for Sideline Cancer. Merrow to the hole.
You gotta make him use the ball screen. It's another turn down. He takes it baseline. There's no help there on that baseline drive.
Watson denied the dunk by Coffey. tipped by Taylor for Clemens, and Eberlein gets it right back.
What a missed opportunity there for Sideline Cancer.
Bounce pass.
Taylor, what a pass to Terrell Brown, too strong, and Watson rocks the rim. Well, that was a swing for sure. Eberlein drive can win it with a tray. Sideline Cancer calls a timeout.
Well, Terry Taylor, how about that behind the back dime? Terrell Brown doesn't get it to go, but Nate Watson on the follow-up. Taylor is such a fascinating combination of skill and size in terms of, mass. Even though he's leaned down since college, he's built like a defensive end. He doesn't have great size from a height perspective, but just a rare combination of a player that you don't see very often.
And then you're ready to play to this throwback, okay?
He played 3 games in the NBA last season for Sacramento. 98 games in the NBA total. He's also gotten some run with the Pacers and the Bulls.
And signed a deal to go to China, where you have to think that that skill set will be on display. Averaged 16 a game in the G League last year for the G League title-winning Stockton Kings.
That Stockton Kings roster had a couple TBT players on it. John Elmore of Heard That, the Marshall alumni team, was on that roster. Heard That was eliminated on this very court by Best Virginia, the West Virginia alumni team, in the second round. Merrill is just passing up any possible three-point look because his action has come inside in this game, and he's going to the free throw line.
He earned every bit of that. Anthony Clemens isn't going to let him come off that screen, so he comes right back off it, back cuts it to the rim. The physicality, a little shot fake, you play off a closeout. Well done by Merrow.
Free throws have been a little vexing for Merrow in this game. That one swirls in, and he's got 14. Eberlein drive can win it with a 3. However, they've got plenty of possessions to play with. You don't need to settle for a 3 here. Clemens is fouled. No shot. Fouls on Merrow of Sideline Cancer, his second.
I like that Clemens wasn't thinking only 3. Put the pressure on the defense.
Flat. Flat. Got him.
York to win it. Off the rim. Merrow, the floor opens up.
Great pass.
To Coffee.
Merrow has played so much better here in the Elam ending, and even in the fourth quarter. It's like a different player.
It's too little, too late.
Let him get flat first.
Clemens is fouled by Merrow. Merrow's now got 3.
Sideline Cancer has one more foul to give before you commit a non-shooting foul. That would be a free throw plus
Wide
possession.
Touch, smash. Wide touch smash. Wide smash.
12 of Merrow's 14 points have come in the second half tonight. Wow, Merrow got another foul called against him.
Wide stack.
Got to be a little careful. He's got 4 now. You get 6.
Well, now you can't take any more non-shooting fouls. You're to the limit.
Thank you, bud.
Bonus free throws in the Elam ending, as Robbie mentioned, 1 plus the ball.
Got time.
York can end this with a 3. He throws it inside to Watson.
Look at the space he's got to operate.
Too strong with the left. Verge on the floor. Earlington open underneath. He kicks it out. Verge, a tray. It drops out. Earlington misses the stick back.
And Sideline Cancer has just been abysmal at the rim on layups.
Hey, one of the balls. You need one?
Eberlein drive has been abysmal
closing on possession.
On the glass, yeah.
Sir,
It's going to be side
This
out.
is what makes the Elam interesting, right? Like, Sideline Cancer has chopped this lead down to potentially 10. And it's not like Eberlein can just clock it. They're going to have to find a way to score 3 more points.
Foul was on Gabe York.
Probably Jordan. Hey, run it! Hey!
So that was the bonus free throw for Jermaine Merrill. And even though he misses, Sideline Cancer hangs on to the ball. Merrill from the corner, way strong, and the rebound is caught by Terrell Brown. Brown off glass, and Eberlein drive is 1 point away.
That was awesome right there by Terrell Brown. Get to the body and then just use that right hand, going to the left.
Verge to the cup. Double deuce for Alonzo Verge. Credit Sideline Cancer for abiding by the I can mentality to the very end here. But let's go inside Eberlein drives huddle and listen to head coach Bryce Taylor.
TB, TT. We're just going to
He's
go
currently
flat
huddling
ball.
with his assistants right now.
But we got to go press break to get it in.
If they foul, we're shooting a free throw, so just attack.
Yep.
And watch,
Perfect.
be ready for a press coming out.
Yeah, that's why we're gonna go diamond to get it in, and then we're gonna go flat ball screen once we get it in.
If they go zone, I just tell them to set it like a spread ball screen and play out of it. They might go too.
Okay. All right, be alert. Be alert to them pressing coming out. All right, this is the alignment that we'll set up. We'll be in diamond, okay? You guys play the game here, not too flat to the baseline. Set. You're taking it out, okay? TB, Gabe, TT, Nate. You're here. Wherever you go opposite. All right, we get the ball in bounds. TT, wherever the ball goes, you're following it, okay? We need one behind. As he follows it, TB, you would flash it. So you have 3 outlets. Behind, middle, or up the sideline, you're just staying behind the play. All right, once we get it in, then we're gonna go flat ball screen with whoever's guarded by Verge, okay? Flat ball screen, high ball screen. Okay, so Sap, get the ball back. Whoever's guarded by Verge, we're coming and setting. Everybody else is flat. Nate, you're here. TT, we're spaced. Gabe, we're spaced. And we're making a play, looking to get downhill. Hey, the next foul is bonus, right? Win the game. Here we go. Hey, down there. No fouls, okay?
Well,
no
they're
fouls.
going to look to pick on Alonzo
We're on
Verge.
three,
They're
one,
going to
two,
put
three.
him in the action, and we'll see if Verge is up to the task.
Eberlein drive on the brink. They made it to the semifinal last year. They were somewhat of a miracle team. They almost didn't have enough players to compete in TBT last year. They were down to a 6-man roster the week of the tournament. Added Terrell Brown late, who's gone on to be very impactful both last year and this year for Eberlein drive. This year they returned with a stacked roster, and they have been in a groove since the first game until now. Clemens, short.
Play back.
Sideline Cancer still alive.
Clemens really didn't have to run the play because Verge gambled, but how about the rim protection there, coming over and contesting that at the rim.
Coffee, low block. Now Verge. Braxton, short on 15. Brown, cut off by Earlington. York on the drive. It's a green light for Eberlein drive. They are moving back to the semifinal for the second year in a row. York with the Elam ending bucket to finish with 23. He gets the celebratory chain, and Eberlein drive continues to look the part of a TBT champion. They are 2 wins away from the $1 million prize, but they have to essentially play a road game in the semifinal. On Thursday, they will play the West Virginia alumni team right here at the Charleston Coliseum. 88-75 the final score, and although Sideline Cancer played well, this game was never really in doubt.
Well, I think it just shows how loaded Eberlein Drive's roster is between Anthony Clemens, A.J. Slaughter, Terry Taylor, Nate Watson, Ryan Brown, Terrell Brown, Gabe York. There are so many guys that can hurt you, and so many did in the win tonight against Sideline Cancer, a well-oiled machine. They've won a road game already in Lexington. It's going to be fascinating to see if they're up to the task for number 2, but this team has plenty of talent and certainly has to be looked at, I think, as the favorite going forward.
Climbing the ladder to put their name into the semifinal on the TBT Big Bracket. As we mentioned, Eberlein Drive was here last year. They lost to the Houston alumni team, Forever Cougs. They'll try and get to the championship game this time around. Let's go to Jen Hale.
A very happy Gabe York, probably a little tired as well, guys. Gabe, congratulations on the win. Wire to wire, what allowed you to control this from start to finish?
You know, we like to hang our hats on trying to only allow 15 points every quarter. You know, the first quarter we were able to do that. Second quarter only had 17. So when the ball's not falling for us, we like to try and hang our hat defensively. Give credit to them. They're a good team. You know, I don't think they shot the ball too well tonight. We knew they weren't going to shoot a lot of threes. A lot of downhill drives, so it was just a matter of us, you know, staying composed, staying with it, and trying to get the dub.
Clearly you were the catalyst. I'm going to guess that's why you're wearing this. Tell me about this.
Yeah, this is just for the Elam ender. Whoever gets the Elam ender gets to wear this. It's heavy. I don't want to keep this on, but for them, I got to keep it on until I go to the locker room.
Yes, you do. We won't keep you too long. All right, now you prepare for one more huge game against the West Virginia alums. What do the next couple of days look like for this squad? What do you want to improve on and tweak?
For me, I got to try and get healthier, you know, roll my ankle a little bit. So next 3 days is going to be trying to, you know, take care of that and get ready for this next game. Other than that, we got to focus on ourselves. Our coaches have a great plan of understanding the scheme of what we need to do. And at the end of the day, we got to focus on us. And if we can do what we do, you know, hopefully we can get this thing done.
Where is that ankle at? Because this game isn't the first time you tweaked it this tournament.
Back-to-back games is crazy, man. They got to start letting me land when I shoot the ball. I'll be all right, you know, next 3 days, hopefully ice, recuperation, and, you know, I should be good.
Gabe, thanks for your time. Enjoy the win, and we'll see you in a few days.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Guys.
Thank you, Jen, and thank you, Gabe. A lot of TBT teams wanted Gabe York on their roster this year. He turned down money from other teams to accept the offer from Eberlein Drive, and it's paid off for him and the squad. What do you think of the semifinals now?
Well, West Virginia, you all think about their defense, their pressure, the way they're going to try to heat the basketball up. The good news for Eberlein Drive, they have very capable and a great depth of guards that can handle that. We are D3, the underdog story. Going into Wichita and trying to beat the Aftershocks, going to be incredibly challenging, but we should have 2 great semifinals. Can't wait.
We sure will, and then there were 4. The TBT semifinals come your way Thursday at 6 and 8 p.m. Eastern on FS1. The 6 o'clock game from Charleston, the 8 o'clock game from Wichita. For Robbie Hummel, Jen Hale, and our producer Andrea Crawford, this is Chris Foster saying good night from West Virginia. Eberlein Drive moving to the semifinals.